This video is sponsored by Faucet Gaming and TimeShifters. It's time to shift. Hey everyone, this is Jasarian, and I'm here with a special video today sponsored by Faucet Gaming with the release of their new game, TimeShifters. I covered this last year when its demo came out, giving my initial first impressions, and apparently they liked it a lot. So they asked me if I wanted to do a follow-up video about its upcoming full release. And having played through its story mode on all 3 difficulties and plenty of its challenges, and looked through some of the multiplayer options, I gotta say, I actually really liked it. It's pretty impressive in the grand scheme of things. It definitely feels like a faithful and honest tribute to the TimeSplitters series. It definitely doesn't pull any punches about that inspiration. TimeShifters is definitely inspired by the first TimeSplitters. It does not try to hide that at all, right down to the core gameplay mechanics. You play as one of 2 character options, a male and a female one, and you run through a level, try to find an item, and get out while you can, while enemies hound you. And once you pick up that item, you'll be attacked by enemies with advanced laser weapons. They'll just spawn in abruptly, much like the TimeSplitters would in the first game. The story is kind of paper thin, but that's kind of the point. It's more there as window dressing to complement the different crazy levels it's got going on. That way it can just get away with whatever it needs to in terms of wackier levels or weapons or things of that sort. So there's a dictator in the future who is controlling the world, and you have to go back in time to stop him by collecting certain objects and bringing them to certain points. And his agents will intervene once you obtain that item. It's there to, again, just serve the purpose of letting the gameplay shine. And the gameplay does shine. It's definitely meant to be a speedrunning sort of game, but there's nothing that can stop you from trying to tactfully gun down enemies or even sneak around. There's a surprisingly good stealth system in the game, where how enemies will react differently to silenced and unsilenced weapons in their field of view. There are cameras in certain levels that react to seeing you very quickly, so you have to be careful around that. And some levels make great use of this, like Station, which kind of surprised me, but it was a very welcome surprise. I hadn't expected this sort of gameplay mechanic to be present in a simpler TimeSplitters 1-like game. And the weapon arsenal is varied, and I really enjoy that. I like just how comical some of the options are compared to how conventional others are. You got your typical pistol, shotgun, assault rifles, some more cyberpunky weapons that are in the near future, laser weapons in the distant future levels, older guns in the past like revolvers and lever-action rifles and dynamite. And then you get to some of the zanier stuff, like how in the pub level there are darts on the dartboard you can pick up and toss at enemies. There are pints of beer in a few levels that you can pick up and hurl effectively. There are pool cues in the pub level that enemies will actually run at you with, and if you want you can smack them back with it. Some of the zombies in Mansion of Meat Cleavers. There are pig heads in the mansion level that shoot shotgun blasts at you. It really goes in on the zaniness, and I think that's to the game's credit. It gives its own charm, and it just feels fun to play too. The guns are punchy, the reloads are effective, you're not fumbling magazines into an M16 or awkwardly trying to load each shell into your shotgun. Just quick movement, down and up, and your gun's loaded and good to go. It's like GoldenEye or the first 2 TimeSplitters games. Perfect. Not so much Perfect Dark or Future Perfect. But it's for the game's benefit because speedrunning is a factor. You can try to go for the fastest time possible in levels. I couldn't find any particular rewards for doing so outside of personal accomplishment, but the game will track your time, and your best time will be saved whenever you complete the level successfully for each difficulty. I should probably note that each difficulty also puts you at a different spot in certain levels, or it can equip you with a different weapon, so the way you play it can actually change quite a bit. and the difficulties feel fair too. Easy is a nice introduction to the game with a bit of a difficult edge to it. Normal's a fair challenge. Hard is pretty difficult but satisfying to do. Overall, I enjoyed them, and I think each level really makes use of its arsenal well. Like how the tactical pistol has a flashlight attached to it, and there are some dark sections in the level to help you navigate, or how there are silenced weapons given to you in that level, and you can use that to get through some of the areas undetected. Or like how in Jungle you can pick up a pair of light machine guns, just go to town, try to blow up a helicopter that's been harassing you throughout the level. Just cool stuff like that. I appreciate that level of detail and the satisfaction of the combat. Guns are punchy, enemies go down quickly, but you can go down pretty quickly too, so you prioritize targets, go for headshots, that sort of stuff. Challenges have a lot of variety to them. Some of them are just... They're ripped from TimeSplitters. Not gonna pull any punches there. They are the challenge from TimeSplitters, just kind of remade here. Hold off zombies as long as you can with a shotgun in a mansion, check. Smash all the glass in an area before the time runs out, check. Control an RC animal and go through a race course, check. But there are some unique ones as well. Like there's a pool-based challenge, kind of reminds me of the part in Chicago of TimeSplitters 2, where you can just try to play pool using your guns. There's a challenge where you have to hold off zombies with pints of beer and just keep smashing them over the heads with it. There's one where you need to play darts. Come on. Stupid thing. Just, come on. No, come on. 180. Don't. How do I do that? You're kidding me. Come on. All right, there we go. First try. Did it. And there's another one where you play cards. I really liked the one where you are trying to get all the pool balls into the holes, and you just have to keep spamming the pool cue at them as much as possible. The online modes look pretty interesting. I wasn't able to test them out at the time of recording this. There's also no bot support or map maker, but those are apparently in the works. I've seen a screenshot of the map maker being developed, and it looks pretty good so far, so more power to Fawcett Gaming, because that'll really extend the replayability of the game, which already has a good element of that in terms of, like, the personal satisfaction of speedrunning. The game seems to be built around that sort of thing, just like with scoring the highest amount of points in challenges. I also like how the devs have been receptive to criticism. I think that's a really good approach to take. I will say, I'm not sure how I feel about the art style. The characters are a little, janky. The art style's like a mix of cell shading and a mix of low poly stuff. It looks good on the guns, not so much on the characters. The environments can be a little hit or miss. Some of the textures are just kind of muddier than others, so it kind of went for a best of both worlds approach, and I'm not sure how well it turned out. It does set the game apart, at least, for what it's worth. It kind of reminds me of that game 13 that came out back in like the 2000s, where it had a really cel-shaded look. Honestly, I had fun playing through the game, and I'm not just saying that because I'm sponsored by it, although I should probably emphasize that again. I came in with uncertain expectations, but it seems like that year of polish really paid off, and I really ended up enjoying the game. I only encountered a few bugs playing through it, and apparently those have been fixed since the time of recording, so I appreciate the extra work being put in to make sure the game lives up to its fullest potential. It's a fun tribute to the TimeSplitters games, and overall, it's just a fun game in general. It's a throwback to classic first-person shooters that really has its own charm and just its own addicting fun, where you want to get through the whole storyline. You just want to power through each level no matter what. Not because you're tired of it, but because you want to see what happens next, what crazy situation your character will be plopped in next. So I'd recommend giving TimeShifters a buy. I gave it a shot. I liked it, and hopefully you all will enjoy it as well. And hopefully I might see you guys online when the servers go live. Thanks for listening, and have a good one.
Looks like it's time to shift.